Okay. Again, if you take 5, you add its inverse, you get 0. If you have -3, you add its inverse, you get 0. This is a big one in upper level algebra. Okay? X, take 5 times 1 over 50, you get 1. Okay? So my example here, we have finally hit algebra. Algebra is a variable and an equal sign. Okay? We're solving for variables. Okay? X is your variable. I'm going to do a much better job this year of using different letters than X. Okay? Now, when it says balancing equation, it means whatever I do on this side of the equal sign, I have to do on this side of the equal sign. Okay? And I want to get this variable all by itself. Somewhere down here, I want it to be x equals something. Okay? Now, we read left to right. Don't forget that. Okay? So we come over here. We have x plus 5. Is that 5 positive or negative? What's its inverse? So we're going to subtract 5 from both sides. Whatever I do on the left side, I have to do on the right side. Now, 5 minus 5 is 0, so basically we have isolated the variable. And now we're going to take 12 minus 5, which is 7. Okay? Now remember, we started the year off with these. We go straight down. We make it look nice. And then what do? You want to check it. So you plug your answer back in. 7 plus 5 equals 12. Okay? This should be a review. We should have done these before. Okay? So now I have another one for you. Okay? And now you'll notice there's one in red. That's going to be a little harder one. So if you want, just do this one in black. Now, Smartboard technology does not allow me to write fractions. So when you see this, it is the same thing as this is what I'm trying to say. Okay? So go ahead and do 1, 2. At least do this one and then try the red one. Okay, so I'm going to do this one first. The only thing I did on this one is I put the 12 on the other side. Now, for some strange reason, people's brains stop working when it's written backwards. I don't know why. If you have to, I suppose I'll let you do this and rewrite it. Make sure you rewrite it correctly. But I'm kind of hoping that we really don't have to do that and we can just work right to left. Okay? So, 12 equals x minus 7. Here's my variable. I need to get rid of it. Again, I read which direction? Left to right. So this is minus 7. What's the opposite of minusing 7? We're going to add 7 to both sides. Okay? 12 plus 7 is 19 equals x. Again, check your answer. 12 equals 19 minus 7. 12 equals 12. Check. Okay? I'm hoping no one had that one wrong. We go over to this side. We'll talk about this later, but I just want to see how many people can do this one right here. This is, anybody know what the can't say that word. The inverse of this is? Got tongue-tied there. Multiplicative identity. What's the inverse of 2/3? 3 over 2, right? So we multiply each side by 3 over 2. These cancel. This goes into there 6 times, and you get 18. And then you check your answer.
What if you still got that, but you did it a different way?
Well, hold on. I'll ask you which way you did in a moment. Then we do this. 12 equals 12, check. All right, which way did you do it?
I did 2 over 3y equals 12 over 1 cross multiply.
I'll look at that in a moment. Okay. Here you go. 2 more for you to try. Again, we read left to right. Negative 6 plus w equals negative 3. There's my variable. I need to get rid of this. Is this a positive 6 or a negative 6? Okay. The opposite is we're going to add 6 to it. W equals what? 3, right? Because negative 3 plus positive 6 is 3. We can check this one. Negative 6 plus 3 is negative 3. Okay? Let's go over here. Now this one really isn't that much more difficult. I just threw a little wrinkle into this, okay? So, we're going left to right. We need to get rid of this variable. Is that 5 positive or negative? Positive. So we're going to subtract 5 from both sides. There's the tricky one. Is that r positive or negative? It's negative, so you have to keep it negative. Okay? Now, never in algebra can you have a negative variable. Okay? There's a few things you can't have in math. You can't have a negative variable, a negative exponent, a 0 at the bottom, a radical, or an imaginary number. What about things you can't have? So, we are going to multiply each side by negative 1. So r equals negative 2. Now to check this, we're going to put 5 minus minus 2. 2 minuses become a plus. 7 equals 7. How many people have negative 2? Nice job. I think I have one more for you. Okay, try that one real quick. This one I just threw another negative in there just to make sure we're okay. Reinforcing that we go left to right. Okay, now this is the variable I need to get rid of. Not sure why I'm rewriting it, but here we go. Is that a positive or negative 6? So I'm going to add 6 to both sides. Get my hockey number. Okay. Now we can check it. 5 equals negative 6 plus 11. Okay. Now, what is negative 6 plus 11? 5. Okay. Everyone have that one right? Good. This one over here. 7 equals 4 t. Now this one might be a little bit more challenging. T's in the bottom, okay? Now to the purists out there, I suppose I should put t cannot equal 0 or we're in trouble. Okay. So what would I do on this one? Say it again a little louder. I heard parentheses. Want me to cross multiply again? No? I would probably multiply each side by t. And I'd get rid of the t's. Over here I would have 7t equals 4. And then I would divide by 7. Okay? Another way you could do it, I'm going to do that in green. If I have 7 equals 4 over t, I could put that over 1 and cross multiply because I have two ratios, separated by an equal sign, which turns it into a proportion. And I can cross multiply and get 17 equals 4 divided by 7. Okay. We'll talk about those a little later. Did anyone have that? Okay. This one should be the last one. Give those two a shot. Now we're not adding or subtracting, we're multiplying. Okay? As you notice, 4c equals 20. In words, this means 4 times c, or 4 multiplied by c equals 20. Well, how do I get rid of the 4? We're multiplying. What's the opposite? We're going to divide both sides by 4. Okay? C equals 5. Okay? To check it, we just take 4 times 5 equals 20. 20 equals 20. Okay, the more difficult one over here, I have. Okay? What would I do on this one? I have the quantity W plus 3 divided by 2 equals 20. Well, I didn't get rid of this first. This is divided by 20. I mean, divided by 2. What's the opposite of divided by 2? Not minus. Multiplying by 2. Okay? I might have heard you incorrectly. I'm sorry. The 2's cancel. I'm left with W plus 3 equals 40. Now I'm back to a one-step equation. W plus 3, it's a positive 3, so I'm going to subtract 3. W equals 37. And we can check this one also. 37 plus 3 over 2 equals 20. 40 over 2 equals. Okay? Anyone have the red one? Now you do? Okay. Now I do have to mention dividing. You don't have to do this problem. I'm going to do it for you. It's basically the same as multiplying. I'm going to have Q over 4 equals 10. What does this bar mean? Divide. Q divided by 4 equals 10. What's the opposite of dividing? So you're just going to multiply by 4 over 1. 4 over 1. Q is equal to 40. And you can test this one.